Start off by giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of GMS for teaching nothing but the 100% truth. Shalom to beautiful Akim that's believing in the truth, pushing the truth throughout the four winds of the earth, using your body as a living sacrifices. I say shalom to you, shalom to you very few aqua that's listening and learning and quietness as the scriptures say so. It's your brother Amar from out of the GMS Lake City camp. Lord willing, coming back to an edifying video, but I entitled this one Pay Your Spiritual Rent, and it's an in transit from Jake Ryder. Paying your spiritual rent, more, and that's going into like as Yahweh Shai say, give into seizure what is seizure, but also you got to give into Yahweh and Yahweh Shai as well. So how do you do that? Staying prayed up, reading the scriptures, studying to show thyself approved, and praying for the body, man. Storing up treasures that's going to be good for you in heaven. Paying, storing up, rehearsing in the spirit, every day, all day, man. Because, believe it or not, you're storing up treasures for yourself. And see, the Lord, now we're coming to a season where the Lord is getting ready to allow us to tap into that spiritual bank account. The Lord is getting ready. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is getting ready to allow us to tap into that spiritual bank account, man. And you want to be able to tap into that spiritual bank account and have something in there, y'all bear with me. I'm gonna get this. Matthew 6:19. It says, "Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth, where the moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." Right? You don't want to lay up here because, it says moth, rust, and it's corrupted, because this place is going to be destroyed anyway. So you definitely want to keep your mind stayed up on high, man. You want to keep your mind stayed on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, constantly trying to store up in the spirit, fill up your spiritual bank account, because we're going to need it in the times that we're coming into, man. It tells you in the scriptures that what is it, Isaiah 33:6, that wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of that time, and that wisdom and knowledge is just truth. How much you've been storing up, how much you've been putting away, saving, and what I mean by that, as I'm speaking in an analogy, but storing in your spirit, man. How much you've been storing up in your spirits, studying and reading and fasting and praying, because see, all that stuff is getting ready to come into place. I mean, for some of us, it's already starting to happen, but also when the enemy comes down with the wrath, these are things that all coming from storing up, and more of the story, if the Lord chose you to be a part of that number, to teach your hands how to war, well, the Lord is doing that for the hopeful elect, those that's been calling on the true names and rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of their abilities, man. So it says Matthew 6:19 again. It says, "Lay not up for yourself treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." Verse 20, "But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." Right? Thieves can't break through. Because see, now, the Lord has given us this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and we're following after the ways of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, not the ways of men, not the ways of Esau. And so, guess what? And here's another thing: no man, right? No man, no person, no auntie, no uncle, nobody. They can't take this truth from us. They can't. They cannot take this truth from us. There's nothing they can do. So it says, I'm gonna go back to that verse 20, "But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through." See, thieves can't break through, man. Not in your mind. unless if you got demons on you. But that's the whole purpose of repenting and praying to Yahweh Shem Shai. Even when those times come, you pray. You keeping your mind stayed up on high, man. You know, you're storing up. You know, I was meditating on this. You know, yesterday, really. You know, just make sure, you know, because I know, it's the end of the month, and pretty much that time to pay rent. But at the same time, because Jake's, they bust their ass, work overtime all the time for Esau, make sure their bills paid. Well, hey, the same thing for Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. Making sure that you working overtime and busting your ass, using your life, right, your body as a living sacrifice for the one that's going to save you, the one that's that's going to look out for you during a time of chaos, one that's always making sure that your bills stay paid. That one is Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. Because it's very important. Verse 21, Matthew 6 and 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where your treasure is, there will also, there your heart will be also. So that's why it's important. Like I said, studying. Also, man, check on brothers, man. That's another thing. Loving the body, man. Check on Akim. Make sure brothers are all right. Because and for the sisters that's out there that like, for instance, if you got a man of the Lord, and then that man, your husband, have another wife, it's, hey, and you and that sister know one another, hey, check on one another, man. Because we're all in the rough times right now. We're all in them rough times right now, and it's good when you're able to pray for others and check up on others, more than just thinking just about yourself. So it's good to pray for the body as well, man. Like I said, going to hey, these are things that please Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Always remember the remnant, man. Always remember the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. This is going into paying your spiritual rent. That way, hey, at the end of the month, and I'm, like I said, I'm using it as an analogy, but hey, at the end of the month, when the end of the month come up, hey, Lord willing, I mean, every day for us, really, it's really every day for us. The Lord is blessing us, because the Lord allows us to wake up in our right mind, right, and the Lord allows us to wake up knowing their names, and still want to rehearse, the righteous acts to the best of our abilities. So really, every day for us is pretty much a win, because we're being given an opportunity to repent on this end, and use our bodies as a living sacrifice. But more of the story, like I said, just making sure that, hey, you're giving it to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Making sure that you always keeping that at the forefront. Yeah, we live in Babylon, but don't forget who we truly serve. We don't serve man. Yeah, we give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So we go on these plantation jobs, we work these 9 to 5s, we do the best we can with what we have, and we pay our rent, pay our light bill, and all that, pay your likes, your internet. But at the same time, we're doing these things because at the end of the day, we know we got to be here, 1, and 2, hey, we're doing it to, hey, at the same time, we're able to do it and still praise Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So always just keeping that at the forefront, man. Just making sure that your spiritual rent is always paid, hey, because, hey, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, hey, gives grace periods too. The Lord, hey, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai give mercy. Mercy is still open. The doors of mercy is still open. So it's just something that I was meditating on. It was in my spirit. Always that, and we keep our minds stayed up on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai during the times that we're coming into, because it's about to get more crazy out here, man. And we really haven't seen nothing yet. Really haven't seen nothing yet. But we know that we're getting ready to see more. We're getting ready to see more. So, like I said, just make sure you're storing up your treasures in heaven. That way, when the time of chaos come upon every last one of us, because every last one of us got to walk this lot. Hey, you got to walk your own lot. Well, with walking that lot, you want to be able to tap in. You want the Lord to be able to, pull out of your spiritual bank account to bless you, man. In a time of chaos, we might not have the scriptures, might not have the Bible, right? But you got the scriptures in your mind. You got to have this in your heart, you know. So it's, you know, like I said, that's why I say you store up as much as you can, and even the stuff that you storing up spiritually. Hey, you ain't even gonna get it all on this end. You're gonna get it on the next end, because you know the Lord said, for those that forsaken, you know, your lifestyles, right? Roughly paraphrasing, your wife, your car, your children, houses, all, you're gonna get back 100-fold anyway, you know. So, you know, just something, like I said, just meditating through spirit, you know, it was in my spirit going to you know, I get this too. Matthew 24:46. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right. Hey, so blessed is that servant who his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Remember, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai at all times. Hey, I always want to make sure you're working, man. You know, and I'm not just saying this to you. Like I said, I'm meditating, so obviously it's in my spirit too for myself, but just passing along, you know, because hey, you want to be doing, man. You want to be doing, and if anything, it's an honor. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do, because as you see, like just like that Eve that I just passed by, not everybody in the world walking or in these stores, they don't have their minds on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They're not thinking about Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They thinking about whatever Yahweh Shai got them thinking about. They're in a delusional state. So it's an honor to serve Yahweh Shai through chaos, to have our mind on Yahweh Shai with losing jobs, might got to come out of your place, you know, might, you know, whatever you're going through out there, you're still able to have your mind on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Well, that's also, you're storing up your spiritual bank account, you know. You able to, hey, even through chaos, you're able to still pray and call on names. You're able to pray over the body. You're able to pray for the elders and apostles of GMS, right? You're able to still do the work. That's storing up. That's a part of storing up, man. You know, because that's going into what I just read. The Lord wants to see us doing, you know. Hey, that's even offline. That's even when you're, like I said, when you're offline and you're not doing videos. Hey, offline, like I said, hey, check on Akim, man. You know, hey, call Akim. Hey, how you doing, bro? You good? Everything good? All right. All right. Hey, all you, how about Shai? I mean, that's what it's all about. Like I said, we all going through it out here, man. You know, all catching it. Brothers might need some assistance or anything. You know, our brother might need someone to just talk to and vent to and listen out. You know, that's also a part of storing up. See, when Lord see us do those things, see us showing love and compassion, hey, as Yahweh and Yahweh Shai show love and compassion and mercy, hey, that's storing up. And the Lord is going to bless you in a time of chaos, in a time of famine, in a time of death. The Lord's going to feed you, take care of you, hey, move you around, and, you know, protect you and your loved ones too, man. You know, so these all a part of your spiritual bank account. That's going to be a blessing to you in the times that we're coming into more and more, man. So, you know, hey, just try to, store up. You know how, Jake, when you get some extra money, you be like, man, I got an extra $700, $200. You know what? I'm gonna just start the whole thing. Normally, you know, Jake, depending on Jake, you know, I take at least about 100 out of this, or 200 out of this. But sometimes you gotta, hey, store up the whole roll, man. Store up that whole thing that you got. Put it away, you know. And what I mean by that, you know, as far as in, like, you know, you sacrifice the time. You might want to go to bed, but you stay up and you do a video. You might want to go to sleep, but you stay up and you read a chapter or two. Hey, that's a part of storing up for yourself. You know, that's a part of storing up. So anyway, Lord willing, this is edifying. It's your brother Ahmad from out of GMS Lake City. You know, it won't just be too long, but that was in my spirit to go into, hey, make sure you're paying your spiritual rent at all times, man. So it's your brother Ahmad. Once again, Lord willing, it's an edifying video. Hey, Shalom to the Ikim on the comment board. Shalom, brother Ashwakaya. Hey, Shalom, brother Na'ar. 144K. Shalom to you beautiful brothers and you brothers, sister, follow them brothers channel. Hey, these brothers do videos, man. Hey, we almost out of here, man. We almost about to go. Hey, we about to be out of here, Akim. And you very few Aquaf, we about to be out of here. We about to go. Once Esau pushed the MOTB to the fullest, once it's RFID, hey, there's no way around it. These cities on lockdown. We already know, man. Close to home. We close. We getting out of here. But until then, hey, Lord willing is edifying. Hey, till then, Shalom.